Eris, the goddess of discord, was a force of chaos, feared and shunned by gods and mortals alike. Her origins were shrouded in mystery, with two conflicting tales of her parentage. According to Hesiod, she was born of Nyx, the primordial embodiment of night, her essence forged in the shadows of the cosmos. Yet, Homer claimed a different lineage, naming Zeus and Hera, the rulers of Olympus, as her parents. If true, this made her the sister of Eris, the bloodthirsty god of war, with whom she shared an unbreakable, almost umbilical bond. Eris thrived on strife, her very presence a harbinger of discord. She delighted in sowing chaos, pitting gods against gods, and mortals against one another. Her laughter echoed in the cries of battle and the wails of despair. Though her origins were debated, her nature was undeniable. She was a being of pure malice, a shadow cast over the harmony of existence. Her relationship with Ares was one of mutual destruction. Together, they reveled in the carnage of war, their bond strengthened by the bloodshed they orchestrated. Whether born of night or Olympus, Eris was a goddess who thrived in the fractures of the world, a true mistress of discord. Eris, the goddess of discord, was a being of relentless chaos, her very essence steeped in malice. She found joy in the unraveling of harmony, her presence a curse to both gods and mortals. With a heart as dark as the void, she thrived on the misery of others, weaving discord into the fabric of existence. Her bond with Ares, the god of war, was unbreakable, a connection forged in blood and strife. Together, they were a force of destruction, feeding off the chaos they unleashed upon the world. Eris delighted in the art of manipulation, her cunning unmatched. She whispered venom into the ears of kings, igniting wars with a single word. Among the gods, she sowed distrust, turning allies into enemies and peace into conflict. Her laughter echoed in the cries of the defeated, her satisfaction found in the ruin she left behind. Though feared and despised, Eris was unstoppable. She wandered the realms, her chaotic touch sparing no one. Mortals cursed her name, and even the gods avoided her wrath. Yet, she reveled in their hatred, for it was proof of her power. Eris was not just the goddess of discord, she was its very embodiment, a shadow that consumed all. Eris, the goddess of discord, was not one to forgive an insult. When the gods gathered to celebrate the wedding of Peleus, a mortal king, and Thetis, a sea goddess, Eris was deliberately excluded. The halls of the feast were filled with laughter and music, but the absence of discord was short-lived. Furious at the slight, Eris devised a plan to ensure her presence would be felt. With her wings spread wide, she soared above the banquet, her eyes gleaming with malice. In her hand, she clutched a golden apple, its surface gleaming like the sun. Upon it, she had inscribed the words, "For the most beautiful one." With a wicked smile, she dropped the apple onto the table where the gods feasted. The room fell silent as Athena, Hera, and Aphrodite each claimed the prize, their pride ignited by Eris's cunning trap. The tension grew, and soon the three goddesses were locked in a bitter dispute. Zeus, unwilling to choose between them, passed the burden to Paris, a Trojan prince. His decision would spark the flames of the Trojan War, a conflict that would consume nations. Eris, watching from the shadows, smiled. Her work was done, and chaos reigned once more. Eris, the goddess of discord, was not content with merely spreading chaos. She sought to create it in its purest, most malignant forms. From her union with the Titan Ether, she gave birth to a brood of daemons, each a dark reflection of humanity's suffering. These 14 offspring were not mere children, but living embodiments of the woes that plagued the world. Hunger, with her gaunt frame, roamed the earth, leaving famine in her wake. Pain, cloaked in shadows, whispered agony into the hearts of mortals. Lying, with a forked tongue, twisted truths into venomous deceit, while hate, burning with fury, turned brother against brother. Each daemon carried a piece of Eris's malice, spreading misery wherever they went. Together, they formed a sinister entourage, a procession of despair that followed their mother like a storm cloud. Mortals cursed their names, yet they were powerless to resist their influence. Even the gods shuddered at the sight of them, for these daemons were relentless, their presence a reminder of Eris's unyielding power. Eris, proud of her creations, reveled in their destruction. She was not just the goddess of discord, but the mother of woes, a force that thrived on the suffering of the world. Chaos was her legacy. Eris, the goddess of discord, was inseparable from her brother, Eris, the god of war. Together, they were a harbinger of ruin, a pair that thrived on the bloodshed and chaos of battle. While Ares wielded his sword to spill blood, Eris worked in the shadows, her whispers igniting hatred and mistrust among men. She was the spark that lit the fires of war, the unseen force that turned minor disputes into catastrophic conflicts. Wherever Ares marched, Eris followed, her presence ensuring that no peace could survive. Her entourage of daemons, the embodiments of humanity's woes, accompanied her on these journeys. Hunger weakened armies, pain broke their spirits, and hate turned allies into enemies. Together, they created a perfect storm of destruction, paving the way for Ares to revel in the carnage. Eris delighted in the chaos she unleashed, her laughter mingling with the cries of the dying. The goddess traveled the world, sowing discord between nations and within families. Her influence was insidious, her touch invisible but devastating. With Ares by her side, she ensured that war was never far away. Eris was not just a companion to the god of war, she was his equal, a force of chaos that made his conquests possible. Eris, the goddess of discord, was a restless force, forever wandering the world in search of new chaos to unleash. Her wings carried her across lands and seas, her shadow falling over kingdoms and villages alike. Wherever she went, harmony crumbled, and peace dissolved into bitter conflict. She thrived on the fractures she created, her presence a poison that seeped into the hearts of gods and mortals. No place was safe from her touch, no bond too sacred to escape her malice. She whispered into the ears of kings, planting seeds of distrust that grew into wars. She crept into the hearts of lovers, turning affection into jealousy and betrayal. Nations fell, families shattered, and friendships burned in the wake of her chaotic path. Eris reveled in the destruction, her laughter echoing in the cries of the broken. She was a storm without end, a force that could not be contained. Even as the gods cursed her name, Eris remained untouchable, her power woven into the fabric of existence. She was not just the goddess of discord, she was its eternal embodiment. And so, she wandered on, her chaotic spirit ensuring that the world would never know true peace, only the shadow of her discord.